Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. Welcome to the troubleshooting guide for Diagnostic Trouble Code DTC P0456, which indicates that the Evaporative Emission Control System, EVAP, has detected a very small leak. This is particularly pertinent for the Honda Civic models from 2011 to 2015. The EVAP system prevents fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere and includes components such as the fuel tank, fuel fill cap, vapor recirculation tube, and various valves. When a small leak is present, it can trigger this fault code, which impacts the vehicle's fuel efficiency and may cause failed emissions tests. To ensure accurate diagnosis and repairs, we will rely on both visual inspections and specific testing procedures using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Let's begin our detailed analysis to find corrective actions. This DTC P0456 pertains specifically to the Evaporative Emission Control System, which is crucial for controlling fuel vapors originating from the fuel tank. It prevents these vapors from escaping into the atmosphere using components located both at the fuel tank and within the engine compartment. Major parts involved include the fuel fill cap, vent valves, and the fuel tank vapor recirculation tube. These components work in unison to maintain the system's integrity and minimize emissions. The EVAP system operates by creating a closed environment so that vapors can be recirculated rather than released into the environment. A very small leak can disrupt this balance, causing the system to trigger this diagnostic code. Therefore, understanding the location and roles of each component is essential in diagnosing the issue effectively. Several factors can contribute to the appearance of DTC P0456. Firstly, a faulty or improperly installed fuel fill cap is a common cause, as the cap must be securely tightened to create an airtight seal. Secondly, any damage or wear to the fuel fill pipe can lead to leaks, exacerbating the issue. Thirdly, leaking vacuum hoses within the EVAP system may result in inadequate pressure, causing the system to detect a small leak. Each of these components plays a crucial role in maintaining the EVAP system's overall integrity, and any failure in one can lead to this diagnostic trouble code. Understanding these causes allows technicians to focus their inspection efforts effectively. Symptoms associated with DTC P0456 may indicate fuel system inefficiencies. A prominent symptom is a decrease in fuel efficiency. This occurs because the EVAP system may not be functioning optimally, allowing vapors to escape rather than be recirculated. Additionally, the check engine light, CEL, will illuminate on the vehicle's dashboard, alerting the driver to a potential issue. Importantly, vehicles encountering this DTC can fail emissions tests, which is critical for regulatory compliance and ensuring environmental standards. Awareness of these symptoms is paramount for both technicians and vehicle owners, as they provide key indicators of underlying issues that need to be rectified to ensure vehicle efficiency and legality. The first troubleshooting step involves checking the fuel fill cap. The fuel fill cap is a straightforward yet crucial component in the EVAP system. Ensure that the cap is labeled correctly, stating "Tighten to click." It should make a distinct click sound after being turned a quarter turn, indicating it is securely fitted. If found loose or incorrectly installed, replace or tighten it as needed. Proper installation of the fuel fill cap is critical, since even a micro-sized gap can lead to discrepancies in the system's pressure, triggering DTC P0456. After making any adjustments, conduct a repair verification, following up with subsequent troubleshooting if necessary. Next, we focus on the fuel fill cap seal and the mating surface of the fuel fill pipe. The seal must be intact and undamaged. Any wear or missing segments can lead to leaks. Inspect the fuel fill pipe where the cap seals. It should be free of any cracks or rough surfaces. It's also vital to ensure that the tether cord, which connects the cap to the vehicle, isn't caught or misaligned under the cap, as this could impede a secure fit. Any issues in these areas warrant replacement of either the fuel fill cap or the fuel fill pipe. After addressing any concerns, perform a repair verification to confirm the issue is resolved. In this step, it's essential to verify whether the problem persists. Start by turning the ignition switch to the on position 2 without starting the vehicle. Using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, clear any existing DTCs, including P0456. After clearing, perform an EVAP function test via the HDS, which will assess the integrity of the EVAP system. If the result appears okay, it indicates an intermittent failure, and you should check for poor connections or loose terminals at the fuel tank pressure (FTP) sensor, the EVAP canister purge valve, and other related components. However, if the test confirms a failure, proceed to the next troubleshooting step to further identify the issue. The next action involves visually inspecting the fuel tank vapor recirculation tube. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock position 0 for safety. Locate the vapor recirculation tube and examine it for any signs of damage or wear, as this could be a source of small leaks. Additionally, check for poor connections. The hose must fit securely without any gaps that could compromise the system. If the vapor recirculation tube shows good condition, proceed to the next troubleshooting step. Otherwise, replace the damaged tube to restore system integrity, and then conduct a repair verification. In Step 5, the focus is on diagnosing potential failure areas. Start by disconnecting the fuel tank vapor control valve hose and the fresh air hose from the EVAP canister. Ensure to plug the ports of the EVAP canister to prevent any unwanted pressure or vacuum loss during testing. The next step is to connect a vacuum pump or gauge to the EVAP canister purge valve. With the ignition switch set to on, select EVAP Partial Control System, PCS, on in the HDS to monitor real-time data. You will then apply vacuum to the hose until the FTP reads 1.90 volt, equivalent to a specific pressure measurement. Make sure not to exceed this threshold to protect the FTP sensor from damage. This step is crucial for isolating potential leaks and ensuring all components are sealed correctly. Step 6 involves checking the EVAP canister purge line for leaks. Reconnect the vacuum hose from the engine side to the EVAP canister purge valve. Then disconnect the other end at the canister side. Connect a vacuum pump gauge to the purge valve. Once again, turn the ignition switch to the on position for testing. Apply the same vacuum pressure as before until the FTP reads 1.90 volts. Ensuring the FTP does not exceed this voltage is crucial to maintain the sensor's integrity. Monitor the data for 1 full minute. An increase of more than 0.2 volts indicates a leak in the purge line or valve itself, necessitating replacement or further inspection. In this step, you will visually check the EVAP canister purge line and the EVAP canister for any visible damage. This includes ensuring the line is intact, without any loose segments or leaks that could introduce air into the system. Inspect the connection points at both the canister and purge valve for a secure fit. Also, examine if the EVAP canister itself is leaking, as this will affect the proper recirculation of fuel vapors. If any issues arise, replace the necessary parts like the canister or lines, and make sure to conduct a repair verification subsequently. In Step 8, you will check the operation of the EVAP canister vent shut valve. Start by reconnecting the fresh air hose from the EVAP canister. Then, reconnect the vacuum hose from the purge valve. Disconnect the vacuum hose from the canister side and connect the vacuum pump or gauge again. With the ignition set to on, apply vacuum to the purge valve while monitoring the FTP sensor for readings. Similar to previous steps, ensure it reads 1.90 volts and not exceeding this threshold. Observe the readings for 1 minute. An increase beyond 0.2 volts indicates that the vent shut valve is likely faulty and may require replacement. Verifying its correct operation is crucial for maintaining EVAP functionality. The final troubleshooting step involves a visual inspection of the fuel fill pipe and the fuel vapor return pipe. Carefully check these components for any looseness or visible damage. If any cracks or uneven surfaces are detected, these could lead to vapor leaks that trigger DTC P0456. It is also important to review the condition of the fuel tank unit base gasket to ensure it is sealing adequately. If the parts are found to be in good condition, ensure to check for other components that could impact the EVAP system's performance. Any damaged parts should be replaced, followed by a repair verification to confirm resolution. To conclude the troubleshooting process, it's crucial to carry out final repair verification. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock position, 0, and reinstalling all parts in the reverse sequence of their removal. After components are properly fitted, reset the engine control module, ECM, using the HDS to clear any stored trouble codes. Following this, perform the EVAP function test to assess the integrity of the repair. If the test results are satisfactory without triggering additional error codes, this signifies that repairs were effective. If issues persist, further inspection of connections and terminal integrity is required to ensure that no underlying problems are present. Preventive maintenance is key in avoiding future DTC P0456 occurrences. Begin by regularly inspecting the fuel fill cap to ensure it seals correctly and is free of wear. Monitoring other EVAP system components, such as hoses and valves, for any signs of wear or deterioration can prevent issues from arising. Additionally, maintaining proper fuel usage, including avoiding overfilling the tank, can reduce the chances of triggering errors. Prioritize responsible fueling practices and adherence to manufacturer guidelines for best results in maintaining the EVAP system's integrity. Taking these preventive measures can extend the life and performance of your vehicle, ensuring compliance with emissions regulations. In summary, troubleshooting DTC P0456 involves a structured approach focused on the evaporative emission control system. Identifying and verifying issues within the system's components is critical in resolving the diagnosis effectively. The key areas to focus on include the fuel fill cap, vapor recirculation tubes, and various valves that make up the EVAP system. Conducting thorough visual inspections and performing detailed tests using the HDS will ensure that all potential issues are identified and resolved. With effective repairs and preventive measures, vehicle owners can ensure their Honda Civic remains compliant with emission standards while optimizing fuel efficiency and performance. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.